Good evening and welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. I'm the Mayor, Councillor Thuy Dang. I would like to welcome the members of the public who have joined us in the chamber and online tonight. Members of the public attending council and committee meetings are expected to behave respectfully at all times and not permitted to engage with councillor or councillor officer during the course of the meeting. This includes directing loud and inappropriate comments towards councillor and officer, or making noise that impact council's ability to conduct its meeting. All persons present tonight have a right to be safe and treated with respect. Council will not tolerate any behavior that threatens the safety of anyone present in the chamber or which disrupt the ability for council to conduct its business on behalf of the community. You will be asked to leave the meeting if your behavior is inappropriate, disruptive, or rude. All members of the gallery are required to register their attendance at council meetings to support continuous efforts to maintain a safe and secure environment for all participants, whilst allowing council to conduct an orderly meeting. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please follow the direction of council officers and the emergency procedure on the wall near the door. I would like to note I have given approval for Channel 31 to live stream this meeting. A recording of the meeting will be published on Council's website. Item number 1, opening. Please stand for the acknowledgement of the country. On behalf of Brimbank City Council, if you can stand, otherwise you can be seated. Thank you. On behalf of Brimbank City Council, I respectfully acknowledge and recognize the Wurundjeri and Bunurong people as the traditional custodian of this land and pay respect to their elders, past, present, and future. I ask Councillor to remain standing for the Council commitment. Others may be seated. At the Council, we will act in the best interest of the Brimbank community and consider the immediate and long-term impacts of our decisions. We will make these decisions fairly and without bias. We will uphold all of our obligations under the law of Victoria and Council local laws, and will act in accordance with the Model Councillor Code of Conduct. Councillor, please be seated. Item number 3, apologies and leave of absence. Councillor Bauch and Councillor Nguyen have submitted an apology for tonight's meeting, and Councillor Kerrs is on leave of absence. Item number 4, disclosure of conflict of interest. Are there any declaration of conflict of interest? No. So item number 5, designation of item as confidential. May I have a mover of motion to designate items as confidential? Councillor Ball?
I move the motion as per shared screen.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. May I have the seconder, please? Councillor Truong?
Through the mayor, I approve letter on the paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Truong. All in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you. I declare the motion carried. Item number 6, confirmation of minutes of previous meeting. May I have a mover of a motion to confirm the minutes of the previous meeting. Councillor Tarkos.
I move a motion to confirm the minutes of the previous meeting, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Tarkos. May I have the seconder, please? Councillor Rasis.
I second that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rasis. All in favour, please raise your hand. Thank you. The motion carried. Item number 7, condolences. There is one item for condolences this evening. Marija Keller. May I have the mover for this motion, please? Thank you, Councillor Tarkos.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. I move the condolence motion tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tarkos. May I have the seconder, please? Councillor Pham.
I second the motion as printed. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pham. Councillor Tarkos, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It is with great sadness that I read out this condolence motion for a woman whose loss has been felt profoundly by our community, particularly in St Albans. In the words of her husband, John, Maria was a person worth knowing. Maria was an immigrant from Miljevic in what was known then as Yugoslavia. The family fled to start a new life in Australia. From the Bonegilla migrant camp, where her parents built their own house brick by brick, they moved on to St Albans in the 1960s. Maria went to university and became a primary school teacher. Even after she retired, she continued as a volunteer teacher at the Migrant Resource Centre, as well as being on call as an emergency teacher in the local area. Maria was a woman of strong opinions and substance, and she would never suffer fools gladly. Coupled with this was a strong social conscience and a life devoted to helping anyone she could, whenever she could. She, in fact, was one of the first local advocates and passionate about social housing. She knew what it was like to be uprooted from her own home, the importance of a safe space to call home. She joined the Labor Party, where she met Colin Thorpe, whom she shared similar values, and they married in 1987. If Maria had a love language, it was her love of feeding people. She had a huge love for many of the Vietnamese restaurants in St Albans, who would be no doubt missing her immensely. You never left her home without a pot of food and always cooked with love. She had several opportunities and narrowly missed out on pre-selection for Parliament. There is no doubt she would have made an exceptional representative for St Albans, but that didn't stop her from contributing, as we all know, through the St Albans Co-op, where they were recognised by this council a few years ago for their outstanding contribution to our community. When it was wound up, they contributed $2 million towards the Bowery Theatre because they desperately wanted a theatre in Brimbank. We did not have one. And for the arts to thrive in the heart of St Albans, as well as the significant role she played in the Migrant Resource Centre in St Albans. On behalf of our council, I offer our sincere condolences to Maria's family, especially her daughter Renee, her husband Colin, her brother John, her extended family and friends. Maria was lucky to know, I was very lucky to know you. Thank you so much for being such a great mentor, your service, love and strong advocacy for your community.
Thank you, Councillor Tarkos. Councillor Pham, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just to endorse what my fellow councillor was saying about Maria, I just want to add in from my side, my own experience to know Maria through Renee, her daughter being in the past through a safety working group, and then we was sharing like knowledge about Vietnamese meal, doing restaurant hoppings, and sharing our community view with each other. One thing I know about Maria is not too much about advanced level, but she very down to earth. She come and sit with us and would share with us what she think. Never downgrade and open. long life living in St. Albans, but being very proud and happily mixed with us in St. Albans, and also give us guidance when we need it. Like always give us a supporting point to grow and to be able to survive in St. Albans. And she's also a great care and supporter for Renee, her daughter. Being a person on wheelchair, Maria played a great role to support Renee as well. So, you know, I don't want to talk about so much in her academy life, but just the way she's just blend in with other people and encourage community to just, believe in what you do and just do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pham. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Madam Deputy Mayor?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would also like to join my fellow councillors in acknowledging the sterling contribution that Maria made to the community in Brimbank. She is leaving quite a legacy that will live on for many years to come. I want to pass on my condolences to her family and to the community. Rest in peace, Maria.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? So I would like to extend my condolences to Maria family. I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. Thank you. The motion carried. So the item number 8, congratulations. There is one item of congratulations this evening. May I have the mover for the congratulation motion, please? Madam Deputy Mayor?
I'll move the motion that Council congratulates Mr. Lucas Everett for his achievements with the Sunshine Baseball Club.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. May I have the seconder, please? Councillor Tarkos?
I'd like to second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tarkos. Madam Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, I do, Madam Mayor. Lucas Everett is a 12-year-old boy who plays for Sunshine Baseball Club. Earlier this year, Lucas was the only team member to hit a home run in day one of a 3-day tournament. He subsequently was selected to join the Twins Little League, which is a select entry team created by the top players from clubs from Essendon, Sunshine, and Williamstown to play in the state championship. Recently, they won the state's championship and they will be playing in the national championships in Sydney next month. It's great to see such a young player from Brimbank being so successful in sports. I'm sure Lucas is and continues to be a young role model for other young people in the city of Brimbank and beyond. I want to congratulate Lucas for his achievement and wish him and his team all the best in the upcoming national championship. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Councillor Tarkos, would you like to speak to the motion?
I would just like to endorse what Deputy Mayor Councillor Boggs said, and that what a great thing to have such a young player now possibly have a pathway in through this national championship. Congratulations, Lucas, and keep going strong.
Thank you, Councillor Tarkos. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Yeah, Councillor Rasu?
I would like to congratulate Lucas and say that it's amazing to have talented young people like Lucas, and amazing achievement, and good luck next month in Sydney. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tarkos. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Yep. Congratulations to Lucas. We are so proud of you. We put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. Thank you. The motion is carried. Item number 9, public question time. Mr. Bilava, I understand that we have received questions from members of the public.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, we have received 11 questions this evening. In accordance with Governance Rule 5516, only the question and not the preamble to the questions will be read out tonight, but they'll be available in the minutes of the meeting. Our first question is from Bruce Lancashire on behalf of the Brimbank Progress Association. The underground toxins at Energy Park produce methane with a number of events on site. What is Council doing to protect the public and the climate from this methane? If action is being taken, is the EPA approved?
Sunshine Energy Park is a closed municipal waste landfill that continues to produce a low level of landfill gas containing methane. To assess environmental impact and risks to human health from landfill gas, the site is monitored quarterly by Council's environment consultant. Council managed the closed landfill at Sunshine Energy Park in accordance with the Environment Protection Act 2017 and under the environment duties.
Our second question is from Richard Carthew, who asks, does Council have a policy requiring Council and its contractors to use locally sourced environmentally friendly products? If not, can such a policy be considered?
Council has social procurement policy which prioritizes local businesses and environmental friendly products. Council continue to explore ways to increase the use of recycled material in construction projects, including the use of toner plus in road construction. Toner plus is a high-performance additive made from recycled soft plastics and recycled printer cartridges.
Our next question is from Riley Jolly. I would like to make a proposal for a dirt BMX pump track at Balmoral Park. This community pump track aims to provide a versatile recreational facility that promotes physical activity, skill development, and social inclusion.
Thank you for your proposal. Balmoral Park is a well-loved and well-used community space, offering sport ovals, a sport pavilion, and a dog park, a suburban playground, and a newly complete skate park. As space within Balmoral Park is limited, there are no plans to add additional facility within the park. However, we are aware of the growing interest in BMX and mountain biking, and we are actively exploring suitable sites across the municipality.
Lachlan McKay has asked two questions in relation to the Brimbank Maribyrnong Interfaith Council. His first question is, will the Mayor and Councillors of Brimbank be interested in supporting the Brimbank Maribyrnong Interfaith Council by joining the network and participating in interfaith/intercultural dialogue and action? His second question is, if so, will Brimbank Council consider appointing a council to participate at the Brimbank Maribyrnong Interfaith Network and be a liaison between Council and the BMIN, like they do for other committees such as the Youth Council?
Brimbank City Council recognized the important role of Brimbank Maribyrnong Interfaith Network in promoting interfaith and intercultural understanding across Brimbank and Maribyrnong. Council support interfaith network by providing capacity building and governance support, project development support, and links to funding through the community grants program. Council advisory committees are established to provide advice to council and are distinct from community-led and independent networks such as Brimbank Maribyrnong Interfaith Network. So Brimbank Interfaith Network operates as a value-independent network of local faith leaders and community members in both Brimbank and Maribyrnong local government areas.
Rebecca Bellingall has asked, ratepayers would like to know how Brimbank was the second worst council with complaints to IBAC in 2024.
We are unable to verify the statistic in your question, but I can confirm Council is committed to high standards of transparency and integrity in all our operations. I'm reassured that people feel safe and are able to raise their concerns. And I have full faith in our processes to deal with any valid issues.
Ellen Hale has asked, on 20th of January 2025, Councillor Tui Dang met with Daniel Molina MP, as stated in the 18th of March 2025 Council meeting minutes. Could Councillor Dang please outline the items which were discussed regarding J.R. Parsons Reserve in this meeting? Can Council outline any further advocacy that has been taken by Council to improve the current state of J.R. Parsons Reserve in Sunshine?
Council is investing significantly in sporting facility upgrade at J.R. Parsons Reserve, with construction of new $4.5 million football or cricket pavilion about to commence. This will be followed by the delivery of a new tennis and community pavilion, an upgrade playground, and improved car parking. Council had actively advocated for capital funding support for J.R. Parsons Reserve and will continue to identify opportunity for further funding and investment in this facility. This formed part of my recent discussion with Dr. Daniel Milino, MP.
Shannon Milak has asked, why does Council offer discounted hall and room hire for seniors only and not for pension or concession card holders, such as people with disability or students, who currently pay more than double the senior rate?
Providing discount rate for seniors, including council community facility hire, licenses and lease agreement policy, which outline the category for the hire of community facilities. Council officers are currently working, reviewing this policy before presenting findings to council for consideration and conducting consulting with community. Equity is a key consideration in ensuring all groups that require support to afford hall and room hire are appropriately recognized.
Shannon has also asked, can Council explain how the Disability Hub feasibility study led to a space designated for carers only when the study recommended including carers but did not for when the study recommended including carers but did not suggest the space be exclusively for them?
Thank you for your second question, Ms. Malek. The creation of the pilot carer space result from the following action in the Council of Drop Brimbank Carer Support Plan. Investigate opportunity to provide local carers with a dedicated space.
Jenny Isa asks, has Council allocated and advocated any funding for the Alfreda Street upgrade for the current draft budget allocation?
In early 2025, Council applied for funding for the Alfreda Streetcap Master Plan implementation through the Active Transport Fund from the Department of Infrastructure, Transport, Regional Development, Communication and the Arts. Unfortunately, this was not successful. Officer will continue and seek grant funding as opportunities arise. Council had allocated $2.9 million in the draft 10-year financial plan for due diligence, design and construction of the activation space. A modest allocation has been proposed in the draft 25-26 budget to commence design of this space, subject to council approval.
Jenny has also asked, where are all the planning application documents associated with the Vietnamese Museum, as well as the operating cost documents for its future use?
Thank you for your question, Ms. Isa. The planning permit for the Vietnamese Museum Australia building at Durham Road in Sunshine CBD were accessed by the state government through the Department of Planning and Transport. A copy of planning permit and the officer report can be publicly found on their website. In regard to VMI's operating plans, that is a matter for the VMI and their board to manage. Brimbank Council does not own nor will we operate the museum. Council does have very clear measure in place through a section 173 agreement to ensure the site is used for its intended use over the next 50 years.
Madam Mayor, those are all the questions for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Believer. We move to item number 10, petition. There is one petition to be received this evening. I note that the typing of petition is procedural and such there is no debate. 10.1 proposed walkway at the end of Golden White Tyler Lakes. So may I have a mover for this petition, please? Councillor Rashid?
I move the motion as per shared screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rashid. May I have the seconder? Councillor Crook?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I move the petition as per the shared screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Crook. I'll put the motion to the vote. All in favor, please raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. Item number 11, minutes report of delegated committee. There are no minutes of delegated committees. Item number 12, officer reports. There are 7 officer reports for consideration by council tonight. If you have your own motion this evening, you must draft these motions and provide to the governing team by email so that they may be shared on screen and form part of this meeting. Otherwise, we may have to defer the matter until the motion had been written, allowing the meeting to proceed uninterrupted. Report number 12.1, planning activity update and delegated decision and planning scheme amendments update, April 2025. I invite Director Wash to present their report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The purpose of this report is to provide Council a status update on planning permit applications and trends in planning approvals in the City of Brimbank and decisions made under delegated authority during the month of April of this year. In addition, we provide a status update on current planning scheme amendments as at the 30th of April of 2025. Officers recommend that Council notes both the planning activity update and delegated decisions report and the planning scheme amendment summary, which is included at attachment 3 to the report. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Director Wash. Councillor, are there any questions to the Director? So, is there a mover of a motion? Councillor Tarkos?
I move the report as per business papers.
Thank you, Councillor Tarkos. May I have the seconder? Councillor Nikolic?
I second the motion. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Nikolic. Councillor Tarkot, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you. I'd just like to endorse the planning activity report, and I also would like to endorse the notation made for the amendment C22 to Brim that sought the rezoning of by Development Victoria land at 147A Kenley Drive and 265 Glenbrook Avenue, Kenley, to facilitate the land usage for residential, retail and commercial community use. As we all know, Brimbank Council lodged, along with other submitters, an extensive submission outlining a range of concerns and also presented at the Government Land Standing Advisory Committee hearing held on the 26th of May 2022. Council understands that the committee's report has been finalised and provided to the Minister in 22. Council has written to the Minister, past and present, to request a copy of the committee's report And to date, Council is yet to receive a copy of the committee's report, and the Minister has yet to make a decision on C222 Brim amendment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Tokos. Councillor Nicolette, could you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Nicolette. Would anyone like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. Report number 12.2, Draft Visitor Economy Strategy 2025 to 2029. I invite Director Wash to present their report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The purpose of this report is to present to Council the draft visitor economy strategy for 2025 through to 2029. It's a great pleasure for us to bring this to Council tonight and ask you to consider releasing that for a 4-week consultation period. The draft strategy is attached to the report at attachment 1, and the officers recommend that Council receives or notes and endorses the draft Brimbank visitor economy strategy and releases it for the consultation period, and also receives at a future point in time a summary of any submissions made and any amendments made to the draft for a future consideration to finalise the strategy. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Director Wash. Councillor, are there any questions to the Director? May I have the mover, please? Councillor Pham?
I would like to move the motion, the report at the business paper. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pham. Is there a seconder? Madam Deputy Mayor?
I'll second the report, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Councillor Pham, could you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So quite interesting to have this report coming up for review and consultation. So the draft visitor economy strategy is to attract more visitors to the municipality, increase the economy impact on visitor economy, implement and coordinated destination marketing activity across the municipality, pinpoint strategic intervention that will enhance the visitor experience and attraction, and also improve perception and enhance community pride. So because of that, there was some key initiative, six key initiatives that form the basis of the proposal to the strategic framework, which is number 1, to develop the destination brand. Number 2 is to support the current visitor offer. Number 3, establish new visitor offer. Number 4 is elevate festival and events. 5 is to repair or for transit orientated developments. And 6 is to build local and support champions. And when we talk about visitor economy, it's not only just about who visit the municipality, but the brownness of our local business and residents to showcase what we have here as well, and what we would like to bring to the world to, come visit, study, and live in Brimbank. So I recommend this community to have their input in that 4-week consultation, to put your angle of view in this strategy, because everyone see it different. I might see visitor come here for visiting family, but you might see them come here to study or other things. So you can have your input in the strategy. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Pham. Madam Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I welcome this draft strategy coming to Council for endorsement before it goes to public consultation. As a local government, it's important to capitalize on the visitors' economy, especially with the proposed Melbourne Airport railing and the suburban rail loop. This is a golden opportunity for Brimbank and its visitor economy. Brimbank is quite unique and needs to be considered as a place of places, among other things. I am very much looking forward to the community's feedback during the consultation. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Could anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Takos?
I too like to endorse this and encourage all the community to have their say. I'd like to say that the tagline of a place of places couldn't have been a better tag because we are the meeting place for 170 cultures to come and call home. And the way forward now with, as Councillor Borg mentioned, the rail link coming, this will create opportunities for all of us to showcase our biggest asset, and that's our people, as well as our cuisine. Also, like to herald the fact that you can still get a banh mi for under $10 in St Albans, which is near impossible and quite a filling meal. And at the same time, you can visit organ pipes, which is over 17 million years old. So to have that within 10 minutes of each other is quite, you wouldn't find it anywhere else in Victoria. So I'm really, really proud of this strategy. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Takos. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Crook?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple of words. Brimbank is a melting pot of cultural diversity, and we should be proud of that. And I am proud to endorse this visitor economy strategy today, which has got an input from all councillors here on the direction of Brimbank and making Brimbank a destination of choice. This is a very unique position that we're in, and we should be proud of the area that we're living in. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Crook. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? Councillor Tuong?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Oh, I just would like to shock as in, I think very right. On the top, we have the community get engaged with the local resident, local business, and the other visitor of the Brimbank. I hope this one will make us to successful in the future. Thanks.
Thank you, Councillor Tuong. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? No? I'll put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. The motion is carried. Thank you. Report number 12.3, Quarter 3 Budget Report, January, February, March 2025. I invite Chief Financial Officer, Mr. O'Keefe, to present their report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The purpose of the report is for Council to note the quarterly budget report and accompanying statements for the period ended the 31st of March 2025. Some highlights from the report, Madam Mayor and councillors. It's showing a continuation of the trend that we saw in the Q2 report. Year to date, the operating surplus is 29.5 million greater than budget. And for the full year forecast through to June 2025, we're forecasting that positive variance being $18.6 million. There are several key drivers to that outcome, or to that forecasted outcome. In the revenue side of the income and expenditure statement, open space contributions, in particular the Orica site, $9 million of revenue, higher than budget. User fees from Bork, for example, $3 million higher than budget, and supplementary valuations, additional rates during the year of 1.5 million. We also have some grants that have been carried forward from 23-24 of 2.8 million that have been accounted for in this financial year. On the cost side of the income and expenditure statement, agency costs are 1.69 million higher than budget, and they've basically been incurred as an offset against the vacancies that we have in our employee base and the savings obviously in employee costs. We also have redundancy costs of 1.62 million that were spent year to date in relation to cease and direct service of some services in the home care space. Capital expenditure for the full year is forecasted to be at 64.25 million, which is 2.8 million higher than budget. And we're currently finalising what the carry forward of capital expenditure for the 25-26 budget year might look like. A pleasing aspect of this report, Madam Mayor, is the Victorian Auditor General Office ratios, which are 5 or 6 metrics that are used to test the fiscal sustainability of local government entities. Across the 6 of those statistics, City of Brimbank is in the low and medium risk category. And also we're forecasting at this stage that our cash balances at the 30th of June will be 5 million higher than budget. So I recommend that Council notes this report. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. O'Keefe. Councillor, are there any questions to Mr. O'Keefe? No. Is there a mover of a motion? Madam Deputy Mayor?
I'll move the motion as per shared screen.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Is there a seconder? Councillor Crook?
I second the motion as per the shared screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Crook. Madam Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak to the motion?
Just a few words, Madam Mayor. This is a standard quarterly financial report. I think Mr. O'Keefe has covered it very well. I just want to say that Council continues to act in a highly diligent manner, including but not limited to when it comes to indebtedness, which is at low risk, as Mr. O'Keefe mentioned. Important to note also the capital works 24-25 change request with regards to 23 projects which required some adjustments. I commend this report to Council.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Crook. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. Thank you. The motion is carried. Report number 12.4, Governance Report, May 2025. I invite Director Hill to present their report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Hang on, I might use the handheld one. The monthly governance report is a standing report to Council in accordance with best practice and good governance principles, and to ensure compliance with the requirements of the Local Government Act 2020, the Model Code of Conduct and the Councillor Support Policy. In the May Governance Report, Council is asked to note a summary of recent governance activity, the contracts entered into and work orders approved in accordance with the S7 Instrument of Subdelegation, the Councillor Declarations of Representations by Members of Parliament, and the Victorian Electoral Commission's 2024 Local Government Election Report for Brimbank City Council at Attachment 2 to the report. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Director Hill. Councillor, are there any questions to the Director? May I have the mover, please? Councillor Tarkos?
I move the governance report as per her business papers.
Thank you,
Madam Mayor.
Councillor Tarkos. May I have the seconder? Thank you, Councillor Nikolic.
I second the motion. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Nikolic. Councillor Tarkot, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you. I'd like to endorse this report and also report back on the meeting that I attended on the 30th of April on your behalf, Madam Mayor. I attended the Mayoral and Councillor Task Force supporting people seeking asylum at Melbourne City Town Hall. This meeting discussed the progress of the Back Your Neighbour campaign, as well as the ALGA Assembly delegation. And I have some very good news to also report. We also had the opportunity to listen to some very moving refugee stories. And to this, I'm extremely proud to say that a Brimbank resident was chosen by the task force from the shortlist as one of the delegates that will be attending ALGA this year to share their lived experience. This is an opportunity that is pretty amazing for our resident. They will be able to attend MPs meetings and also provide an important level of advocacy at ALGA level in Canberra. Brimbank is indeed honoured to have this representation, And I'm sure that the very moving story of the journey to Australia, and especially to Brimbank, where we embrace refugees and asylum seekers, will be a highlight of the importance of supporting asylum seekers and refugees seeking a safe place to live. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Takos. Councillor Nicolai, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just briefly, I'd like to touch on the VEC's local government election report for Brimbank City Council, which is in this report. I'm incredibly proud to be in this council that has 9 out of 11 women. In Victoria, we're yet to achieve gender parity. The percentage of women across Victoria elected to council is still at 43%. So while 280 women were elected to council, an increase of 15 since the last election, we're still stuck in reaching that 50-50, and that's for a wide range of reasons: family commitments, online trolling, and we saw that as well during the elections, and the rise of misinformation. So I think growing up as well, you can just look to the former mayors on the board to prove my point, but council didn't look like me, or what I wanted to be or aspired to be. So I think we have a real opportunity to represent our diverse community as a diverse group from different cultures as well. And I really look forward to supporting women across our council to lead locally, to increase the diversity for the next council elections, and seeing different ways that we can encourage active citizenship, particularly for our youth, particularly for gender diverse peoples and people of all abilities as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Nicolai. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. We move to report number 12.5, Council Plan Action Plan Year 4, Third Quarter Progress Report. I invite Director Hill to present their report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Council adopted the Together We Are Brimbank Council Plan 2021 to 2025 in October 2021. Each year, after consulting with the community, Council creates an annual action plan to implement the strategic directions and objectives outlined in the Council Plan. In 2024-2025, the Council Plan Action Plan contains 81 actions. Implementation of these actions is monitored and evaluated through quarterly reporting of actions, with achievements published at the end of the financial year in Brimbank Council's annual report. This report shows the progress made in the third quarter from the 1st of January to the 31st of March 2025. At the end of the third quarter for 24-25, 10% of actions are complete and 90% of the actions are in progress. The recommendation is that Council notes the state of the actions as presented in the report. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Director Hill. Councillor, are there any questions to the Director? May I have the mover, please? Madam Deputy Mayor?
I'll move the report as per shared screen.
May I have the seconder, please? Councillor Crook?
I second the report as per the shared screen. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Councillor Crook. Madam Deputy Mayor, would you like to speak to the motion?
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. At the conclusion of this quarter, 8 council plan actions are complete and the remaining 73 actions are in progress. This report reflects the implementation of a rich diversity of community programs, services, and advocacy to meet the needs of the municipality and its people. One of the highlights is Council's commitment to improving mental health, which continues to be one of Council's gold priorities. Another highlight is the introduction of a new community connector program to support residents, their family members, and carers to understand and navigate the NDIS and aged care and carer support sectors. I strongly encourage members of the community to have a look at this report and see what Council is doing in this sector. I commend this report to Council.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Mayor. Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Crook. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare the motion carried. The report number 12.6, contract number 25 / 3611 PA, supply and delivery of bulk fuel. I invite Director Lever to present their report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This report relates to a high value but otherwise relatively standard contract award for the supply of bulk fuel. Officers have accessed the Procurement Australia contract to enable access to fuel from their panel of suppliers, and officers recommend we enter into a contract to access fuel from Ampol Australia, Business Fuel Solutions and Pacific Fuel Solutions. The Procurement Australia contract has been selected as officers believe it offers best value to council. In selecting these three contractors, expenditure with any single supplier is not guaranteed, and council will have flexibility to access its preferred supplier according to the rates that they're offering and any other relevant considerations. The total contract value of just under $8.5 million ex-GST for 2 years comes with an option to extend a further 2 years at council's discretion. It is a high cost contract, but it is necessary given the many services that we deliver in-house, and I commend the report to council.
Thank you, Director Lever. Councillor, are there any questions to the Director? May I have the mover, please? Councillor Takos?
I move the motion as per business papers, Madam Mayor.
Is there a seconder? Councillor Truong?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm second more on the paper.
Thank you, Councillor Truong. Councillor Takos, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Truong, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank Madam Mayor.
Are there any, would anyone like to speak to the motion? I'll put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. The motion is carried. Thank you. Report number 12.7, extension of contract number 22 / 3139, environmental health and immunization services. I invite Director Wash to present their report.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The purpose of this report is for Council to consider the extension of an existing contract for the provision of environmental health and immunisation services for a further 3 years. Council in April of 2022 appointed Kerno to fulfil a range of obligations under a variety of acts that are detailed in the report, and that original contract was for an initial period of 3 years with an extension of 2 possible extensions of 3 years to be awarded. Council officers recommend that Council extends the contract with Kerno Environmental Services for the additional period of 3 years through to 30th of June 2028. Based on an estimated amount as per the agreed schedule of rates. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Director Wash. Councillor, are there any questions to the Director? May I have the mover, please? Councillor Crook?
I'd like to move the report as per the shared screen. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Crook. Is there a seconder? Councillor Rasis?
I second the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rasis. Councillor Crook, would you like to speak to the motion?
No, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Rasis, would you
No,
like
thank
to
you.
speak? Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to the motion? I put the motion to the vote. All in favour, please raise your hand. I declare the motion carries. Thank you. Item number 13, notice of motion. There are no notice of motion. Item number 14, notice of decision. There are no notice of decision. Item number 15, urgent business. Director Wash, is there any urgent business?
Madam Mayor, this evening we have no matters of urgent business. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wash. Item number 16, confidential business. There are no items of confidential business. So we go to the meeting close. That brings us to the conclusion for tonight's meeting. Thank you all for attending and for your interest. I declare this meeting closed at 7:55 p.m. I instruct Channel 31 to stop live streaming this meeting.